All right, I have a new series I'm going to do. It's going to be a case study, and I'm going to be going week by week. So I'm going to start here, November 17th, and then go this week to next week, blah, 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 so on and so forth until I reach the current week. And then I'll just do a recap of each week of the trades I took, trades I wish I took, and then the ones I didn't, and the ones I sat out. Just a whole recap, mostly just revolving around the trades. I'm not going to break down fully in price, but it will be in depth because I kind of yap a lot, and I like to just go over the full concept. So let's keep it short in my introduction into the series, but that's just what it will be. It'll just be simply trades I wish I would have taken from the week, because I'm trying to reverse engineer trades that are from the model that I trade. And I've been seeing a lot of people have success of traders in my mentorship, not my mentorship, but the mentorship that I'm in. Backtesting is good, yeah, but I see a lot of them reverse engineering their trades that our mentors take or like other people take to really train their eye for the live market, and it's been working really well, and I've been doing it as well, and I've noticed a increase in that. So maybe it's something y'all can do. Just go back to the day. Some people do it regardless. This is not something groundbreaking, but some people do it regardless of just like going through the day of price action, being like, okay, what should I have taken? Oh, I missed this. Okay, can I do that better? Just annotating like what price did, why it did it, and how you could have involved yourself in it if you missed it. And if you did involve yourself, like what you did wrong or what you did right. So those are just really good things you can do on top of back testing. So I was going to do this regardless. Fuck it. Let's make it into a series. Keep me motivated. Keep me accountable. Post on the YouTube. Maybe help some people in the future if I actually get viewership. Sorry, I just like made a weird noise. I just got my wisdom teeth out, and so oh shit, I just dropped my water. Just got my wisdom teeth out, so it's kind of hard to talk, and I might sound a little funny. A little sip of water there. But anyways, let's get into it. So this is a cool week as well. I'm glad I started on this week because I had some cool examples, as well as an Asia session trade, which I've been studying a little bit more because I'll be going back on Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be working 8 to 4. So there might be some Asia sessions in my future here. I'm just trying not to think about it. I've been just really savoring the moments that I can still trade New York session until I move back. Anywho, so we had a Friday C2 reversal candle, and these are really good days that you can trade Mondays higher. Like if a day like this is put in on Friday, especially with an SMT here, PSP, this is really nice day to potentially trade higher because you have a two-stage SMT. But what do you want to see after a two-stage, especially two-stage SIG, or just an SMT in general? If you want to validate that SMT, you want displacement from there. If it's not displacing from that point, then just it's invalidated. Like just chalk it up. It's probably going to be an SMT failure, and you're going to trade to the level that it was trading away. You're going to return to it, especially when you're tapping into some sort of external level or internal level. So you have the universal model at play of internal to external. So we should have continued through this and then probably hit this on like a Tuesday. Monday came in here, closed over wick. Then that's when I would have framed higher, but that's not what we get. We get to tap into asset that was stronger. It's now putting in the higher high SMT, higher low SMT, and then now you can trade back to ERL, and this is a cool one. This is some more so advanced premium discount of where you have an SMT at this level, and these two assets haven't hit it, so you could trade the second asset into it back. So, and then this one will be playing catch up. You'll see the Asia overnight session of where you have the final asset catching up to its other two little buddies. So this was the closest one to the draw here. Due to closure weakness, blah blah blah, had a hit on Monday with NQ, or Friday rather. So this one's a good SMT break down here since we were respecting this internal level. So enough yapping about the daily. I focus on, yeah, but I more so have been trying to get better with 4-hour profiles. So we'll go over this. It was a ES short, so I'll continue on this and then I'll open up ES. Let's get this off the hours here. That was probably I'm pretty sure that was a 1-hour SMT, but it is what it is. Cool. Whatever. Fuck it. We'll leave it how it is. So as you see, we come into the day, into that daily fair value gap, and at 2 a.m. So what do you want to see out of a bear? And this is what kind of invalidates this profile. General profiling is something that you need to get really nasty at if you want to be a good trader. This day opens, yeah, but it opens high. That's not how you want to see a bullish candle get printed. You want to see an open low. Just think of the schematics of any candle when it comes to bearish versus bullish. If you have a bearish candle, you're going to get that open high, especially when you get that open high into a relevant level with SMT. This can really validate that no longer we're going to have a willingness to go higher, because you don't see, like rarely, unless it's consolidation candle, we don't trade those, is that you have these zigzag. Like if we're going to open high, it's most likely you're going to put in that high of day and then trade lower into like easiest is, London lows, maybe previous day low. It depends on the thing. So if you anticipate a bearish candle, then we must see open then high. S&T at London then validates this high day. This 6 a.m. candle is kind of worrisome, but I just see this more of like a retracement or a lack to continue into this draw. So if you have this London high of day, and you're going to validate it, this is where you must trust the model essentially. Like you're not reversing from anything here. Like this is not like a two-stage SIG. There's no PSP here. There's nothing like I would deem this reversible. So I wouldn't trade longs. I would just treat it as a failure swing, yeah. But if shorts are then validated, then I'll trade it short to then go back into this level, break this SMT here. So you just got to trust it, make sure it's going from IRL to then ERL. So we'll get and open up this. I'm dumb as hell. Okay, so this is the ERL I was talking about. You're coming into this gap. You already have the SMT you've seen. Once you go to the 1 hour, you had this SMT here. And this is an SMT fill as well. So this is that little 9 a.m. retracement, the cap off the 6 a.m. candle. As that occurs, you then have we'll get into the 15 minute. But you have this, boom, and then 10 a.m. closes, and then you can continue down, and this is a weird trade to where you're just doing a static 2R. So once we go to the 15 minute here, you have this two-stage SMT on the 15 minute. This is what I was kind of looking. I've been kind of incorporating 15 minutes a lot more, especially like 15 minute SMT fills. Like if you have an expansion, like you have this London high of day put in expansion, you didn't catch this. If you're a London trader, if you're not a London trader, you just woke up, you're like, crap, how do I get myself involved in this? You're gonna want to see gaps get respected and SMTs get put in, and then you can just get like SMT fills to continue lower as long as a draw is available. So you have this move, and you're kind of already extended in price, so you're going to have to demand, like you're not going to be the guy that, you don't ever want to be the guy that's shorting down here. Like never be the guy that's shorting all the way down here, especially pre-market. Like obviously you're not going to short anyways here, so you're going to see what the open does, and if the open prints this, it's like, oh crap, I guess there could be some sort of willingness to go higher, yeah. But on YM here, well, yes, but I remember this on YM was that high, so the previous asset that was weaker has now put in the higher high, and then we have this SMT here, and then you can see a nice closure on 10 a.m. and then it kind of just chops down. You can target this low for a static 2R. So this order block and the gap from the displacement of the London high of day is getting respected, so there's no reason like you can't short this from here, especially when you're getting this two-stage. So some people require 2 stages just for reversal, especially higher time frame, you want 4 hour. But a lot of people implement these 15 minute. Now I wouldn't validate these for reversals, yeah, like this is just a continuation, but a lot of people have been using 15 minute 2-stage continuations, to validate to continue lower. In this case I almost said continuation like 5 different times. So I trade 5 minutes. You can involve yourself 3 minute, 1 minute, especially when you're doing the 15 minute. You're going to want to pair that with the 1 minute, but I'm just kind of catching the SMT fills like I said, and then I just like 5 minutes. That's just me. So with this, you have the stop double SMT here, then you get another one. I remember this day I didn't trade this because I missed this. When I was looking at this, I was like, this looks so familiar, but I remember this day I didn't trade this. But I had this SMT here. You get the SysD, then you get this consolidation, so you get the expansion, deeper retracement, slight expansion. You get the SysD with the V-shaped recovery here, pretty clean. You get this consolidation. This is why the stop loss always goes on the true invalidation. Like if anything, if you want to squeeze some RR, I'd go to the top of this fair value gap. Like that's the most I would do, but there's been a couple times where I've gotten stopped out and had to learn my lesson the hard way of like not putting my stop loss on the true invalidation. So it always goes there. It can end up biting you in the ass in the end. Other than like if it's a huge displacement, like boom, and you're trying to catch the market entry or the limit entry of a SysD, then like, and there's a big gap, it just depends. If it's a strong body closure, then you can put it at the top of bodies, a large wick. Just make sure you cover the wick because you will get wicked out sometimes. Get a local 2-stage on the 5 minute here, and then you get the SysD of here, and then of this one as well. And then from there, it's a static 2R. I think and it's funny, like you can just validate, like you see this stuff like time and time again. like when this is hit, this local, it just like immediately reverses, like boom, and just like comes up immediately. Hit this local, trade above it, and then yeah, it just kind of goes. I'm not gonna redo this whole price, but that's just like the trade I would have taken on that Monday, beautiful Monday continuation trade to the lows. And we'll get into the next day here. So this was the Asia short I was talking about. So the Asia short here is like super weak, like super clean. Good example of profiling and just trusting that universal sequence, and trusting like once you learn profiles that you can really trade any session. So NQ and YM have both hit this level here. So as you can see, they have both YM and Q have both hit this level. This doesn't hit it till the next day, but they've failed to manipulate here. So you can see that like we're gonna probably continue. So Monday high week is validated as well due to this SMT within the gap and displacement away. We have this displacement away. This is like the night of the 17th, so it's still within this day, technically this day actually, but at that time YM had hit that level, but ES hadn't. So we have a failure to manipulate, and you can trade. This will be the trade I'll get into. Wait, no, this is actually ES short. I'm tripping. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm in my head. I'm like, I'm explaining this wrong, and I don't know why. This is why, because yeah, YM and Q have already hit this key level, and they are failing to manipulate. So with ES, now you can trade this lower. I think I was just saying that wrong trade last time, but whatever. Anywho, so you can trade this, but especially when you have this like close proximity for ES to this DLL, like this is so free. But the only thing, especially when you're about to hit it here, it'll open up and just smack it. So there's a lot of times where people will like just stay up and trade Asia, because like it's gonna be rare that you're gonna like do that. Like, this is the days where you, if you trade, you'll see the charts and you go, like you'll wake up and just sigh, because like you'll see it overnight expanded so cleanly. And that's what I started noticing. And then other people were catching it, like catching those trades. I was like, And I started looking into it. I was like, oh, because it's like, well, the draw's there, profiling, if you're basing it especially off a 4-hour profile that has significant weight, it's obvious if New York PM is going to put in a reversal, then what is Asia supposed to do? Continue. Like if you have a 1400 reversal, it's pretty obvious that 1800 should just continue. Like I used to be like, man, just open and dump, what the heck? And I started looking into it, and a lot of times it would be like a New York PM reversal into a gap or something. Like that's free. Like why wouldn't you trade? You would trade it in New York AM. You trade it even in London. Like why couldn't you trade it? Like if you trust the profiles, you trust the model, it should be able to apply to any time frame, really. I had to take another sip of water, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So super clean. So crap, I'm messing with lower time frame SMTs here. I didn't clean this up as much as I should have. Anyways, we'll go into ES here. So we know NQYM have already hit the draw, and they're not reversing off of them. No price is reversing, obviously, due to the open. We have this failure swing. This is where NQ hit it. It smacks it here. If we're going to reverse and put in some sort of two-stage SMT, because that is a two-stage SMT, because NQ hit it here, then this took out this, but NQ didn't take out this. So at the time we had a valid two-stage here. Well, what are we going to see if this is going to be a valid two-stage expansion away? If you're not validating an SMT with expansion away, you're probably trading fake SMTs and you're getting stopped out. So what do you require to trade expansion regardless is expansion away. Well, that's pretty obvious. But like if you're going to validate an SMT, it's got to be like there has to be expansion away. If you get some sort of choppiness or uneagerness, unwillingness to trade away from that level, don't trust that SMT. Promise it's going to get broken. It's very rare. Very, very rare. You want displacement, urgency in the market. I just burped a little bit. My fault, gang. So New York consolidation candle, kind of C2 reversal wick, you can say, but it's more so just a weird way to end of the day, especially not tap it. I know probably some people were really holding and got stopped. I think I do remember this day. People were holding to this external level, and it just never got hit, and you just got like edged in the market, and then it pulled up on you. But since this thing get here, you can be like, oh, this could be so free if I just stay up. So what happened? New York PM closes this. We have a reversal candle. This was a C2 reversal candle with SMT. SMT fill into gap. So you just got to trust the universal model. You can apply it anywhere. So you have internal to then external. Previous, like it's so clean here. Brutal edge. This sucks if you're a New York trader and you're really banking on this 1400 candle. But then 1400 then closes, puts in a PSP. Oh yeah, this was a PSP as well. I have this annotated in my Notion. This was a PSP. Then 1800 opens, puts in an SMT, validating that PSP. So two-stage crack. Boom. This allows 2200 to expand and draw into the still open draw on ES that hasn't been broken. So very clean example of this profiling, and like just no matter what time it can be presented and it can work. So super clean. Get down into the hourly and how I hopefully would have traded this. Again, this is all hindsight. So this is, I think, the two-stage SMT that was present into this gap. So then you have a C3 continuation, because you wouldn't trade this. This is not a C2 reversal off this SMT here. You would need a C3 continuation candle. This is just like basic fractal model stuff taught by T-Trades, adapted by a lot of people. I mean, the all-being god is MMXM. Damn, I keep dropping my coaster when I pick up my water. But this is just straight up fractal model continuation. Yeah, like at the end, getting edged like this is brutal, but it makes for such a free draw. Like, we're clearly not reversing. Like, this is a nice, like, where you could validate this as maybe that two-stage reversing from. But when you get this like choppiness and uneagerness to like close through these gaps and create gaps themselves, like there's no gaps created here. Like that's not a valid SMT. This is not going to be a valid SMT, just trust. So then you have the two-stage, put it into this gap. C3 closes over for an order block here. You can put literally, I don't know why I said it like that, but you can watch this SysD line here on the hourly. Watch open, low, high, or open, high, low, close. Just remember the bullish makeup of a candle, or bearish makeup rather, sorry. Open, high, low, close. Super simple, and then trade into this ERL. This is so clean. You can probably see some 15-minute two stages, 15-minute closure. I think this was validated here. Yeah, you have this trade, you're dumping. Yeah, you're just like straight dumping. But I just dropped from the hourly here when I was back testing this. Boom, we'll just I don't know, I just didn't want to cut off that. Wait, would that even cut it off? Oh no, it wouldn't. Look at that. Obviously dumb. Anywho, so you have this SMT. This was with YM, I remember. So this SMT validated through the SysD. I mean, remember it's Asia, so it can chop a little bit. You could have took this. I'm just truly, even though this is all hindsight, like, oh, blah, 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 like, yeah, cool, trading in hindsight. Yeah, duh, dumbass. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. But I'm being true to, like, what I would have really took. Especially Asia. I would have waited for a new candle open, just do the time in the candle. I'm not expecting a large range expansion. I'm expecting some sort of chop. So you could have took this. This is, like, valid, but there's no SMT into this gap. If there's SMT fill into this gap, then yeah. But what I would have done truthfully is this right here. Little tap into this gap, SysD. You can put a market entry right here, because this is close enough to the SysD line. Now if this went all the way down here, like if this was expansion out of 22 to 25, then I would have put a limit right here near the sys just to squeeze out some more R. But when you have a close SysD like this, close order block to the order block level itself, just mark it. Like, don't get caught like not getting in. Like, if it's all the way down here, that makes sense to like put a limit up here for sure. But if it's 16 and it's closing the candle rather close to that, just mark it, bro. Trust. Like, you'll be dumb. I've sat through it plenty of times where I just like, this makes sense, yeah, squeeze out more R. But like, I've been dumb 16, not marketing and like limiting like right here, and just boom, 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 and you're just like, bro, it was literally for like 0.2 R. Like, I could have squeezed that out. Like, I could have took that, but this was really close. You could have even took into this local low here for 2R, but that was a true draw down there, and you can see it just stomps it and then continues, where it reverses. Not really reverses, it just retraces after it hits. So would take this third OB, place stop loss at the SysD line. This is where I'm talking about like modifying, like true invalidation at this point for me. I mean, technically up here, but from here, like, this trade's dead if it trades past here, to be honest. So even here, like, this gap should hold, this SysD should hold. So I would just put it here. Some people would validate this and really squeeze out like a 3.6, but cover my butt a little bit, especially in Asia. I'd probably done that. So cool. We'll get into the next trade. So this is all like data. So that if you're a demon and you just don't sleep, you could have caught two like super nice trades this day. So this was that two stage I was kind of hinting at on the daily time frame. That would have been validated on that day that then we broke on ES. But this is where you could frame to 2-stage, but you must filter out the noise. You got to watch the signatures price is giving you. So that's what I was talking about, where that low was put in and it kind of started reversing, but it just wasn't putting displacement gaps, fair value gaps. It just kind of chopped up, no gaps. It's not a valid SMT. Like, you're just going to break that. Just don't even trust. So let price tell you where it's go. Let it trade. So we have a strong closure from YM here. We're closing below the wick low. So ES doesn't seem to reverse either. Like, it's not exactly closing as strong as this one, but it's still a decently strong closer. So now there's a new SMT. So these have both traded into this level, as you can see, the two stage. So now you can catch NQ into this level to catch up. So super clean trade out of here on the same day. It's just into the morning. So you had SMT break on this low that got edged overnight, Asia, and then now you could literally wake up and smack another basically SMT break, because if you want this 2-stage to hold, we're gonna have to expand away, and you obviously don't get those signatures in price here. So what am I on? Let's so we go ahead, peep it. We have 1800. Especially now we're gonna get back into daily profiling here again. I don't know why I have these stacked on here. Oh yeah, duh. Okay, cool. So this NQ here, yeah, you have that SMT that validated the high of the week. And then we displaced 4. Obviously, 1 week pairs with the 4 hour. So you have the SysD really here on the weekly. Well, it'd been here actually, but this validates the high of week here. And then from that, we're creating gaps here that we trade into. SMT at that daily, we expand lower. So it's technically an open high, expansion lower. 6 a.m. or 2 a.m. rather gets a bit tricky, but there isn't a 2-stage. Like, this is kind of just failure to manipulate. Like, we would have wanted to see expansion higher. This is where you just kind of like let price, like, you don't literally just, God, I gotta stop saying, I feel like I'm saying a lot of words over and over again, like literally da 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 blah blah. I don't know. Let me take a sip of water. No cuts here. We're just one taken. I don't have enough time to like edit and stuff. I'm too worried about backtesting and getting better at trading. Like, I'm not worried about becoming like a YouTube god. I do this simply to maybe teach somebody, but also just for myself to talk through it and have to explain it to the ether, the internet. Anyways, so let's get rid of this. So what you have, boom, high of day, put in 1800. So it just dumps right there out of this gap. Super simple dump. Like, it's not a true like trades up, but it just dumps from there. If it's 2 a.m. retracement, I would validate this if this candle opened high and started continuing higher. Like, if we put SMTs in the gaps on the 15-minute, boom, boom, then like, okay, yeah, cool. Maybe take out this, the daily high. Dang, it's hard to talk a lot when I just have I can barely open my mouth. Anyways, so Asia high day, then London retraces, testing the order block, boom, here. Oh, that was what I had that annotated. Oopsie. No signs of reversal, lacking V-shaped recovery. I think this is supposed to be for the hourly. Failure to manipulate the ERL, that NQ hit overnight draws to my eye to the next level. So we failed to manipulate this. We're not really like putting 2 stages in, so it would go to the next draw that was back here, the swing low. It's just simple like if-then statements. Like, okay, this is a tricky 2 a.m. candle, but like there's no 2 stages. You can check the other assets. There was no 2-stage. I don't expect this to go higher. It shouldn't. If it does, I'm not going to trade it. Like, I don't have a valid 2-stage to frame a reversal off of. I'd rather see it go lower. So if it gives that signatures within a heavy candle, which is the 6 a.m. candle that has the volatility drivers, then like that would be valid, and I would trade the break down to this ERL level. So let's get into the hour here. So this is where I had that. Yeah, this is where I had that order block line. I always mix it up. Sometimes I say SysD, sometimes I say order block. Technically, order block is this, and the mean threshold of it, blah, 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 blah. I just use more so SysDs, like a change of state of direction. We have 2 of these bad boys. So, oopsie. Get out of here. So, yeah. Asian high day. Boom. At 2000. So then we have a displacement away from that. And then all price does here is retraces. So that's that 2 a.m. candle. Leaves small gap, yeah. But as soon as it hits this key level we want to see respected, it starts to continue away from it. It's like, okay, never mind. I don't want no smoke. And this was an SMT here that we got at 9 a.m. Super clean. So no signs of reversal here. Like, this is a really weak really weak V shape recovery. Like, yeah, V, you can obviously see, yeah, small gap, immediately hits this level and then goes away from it. So SMT at open, New York open here, further validating this to push to an ERL below. This is kind of a trade that I'm working on more because I like to watch the 10 a.m. open. So this is something, if I would have waited towards that, then I wouldn't have got it all. And then you also had a 2-stage here. So the asset that was previous stronger, this is NQ, YM then switches. So then we get a strength switch here at the open, or after the open, I'm sorry. So that's open, pushes higher on this asset, and then it puts in the lower high here with a SysD at this line. So I would have, truthfully, I've been trying to get better at trading after the open and just trusting that if we get a manipulation, then we can trust it. So if manipulation at open, draw below, trust it, enter. So yeah, super clean. So the asset that's previous stronger gives a strength switch via SysD first. So it was the first to SysD, and also it has a stronger displacement, leaving gaps here, leaving gaps. So I would put the stop loss on the SMT high. That would be right here. Market entry on the second closure. This is a weird one, especially like, what do you like? There's nothing to retest. Like, obviously, if you do like 3 minute or something like that, even then, geez. 1 minute. I don't mess with the 1 minute, but this is a super clean entry right here. Like, you can put it on. This would have been the 1 minute SMT. Put it here, SysD here, super clean. You could have got a little 2R trade there. But with this one, you enter on the closure of this one, market entry, boom, static 2R into draw, hits a draw, and then it'll reverse it back higher. Super clean. Get a SysD there, retest of this gap. You could have traded this back up into maybe the open high. I don't know where it goes. I can't quite remember. Yeah, wow. That would have been a nice trade. Let's get rid of all this. Damn, somebody's trying to be a cool guy. I don't know if y'all heard that. Someone just raped their engine. Yeah, I think there was a SysD also at this. Yeah, there would have been a SysD. Not a SysD, but an SMT at this low. Get a SysD, validating V-shape recovery. Retest on the, there's probably some 15-minute stuff. Let's see. There's probably something pretty cool on the 15-minute here. Yeah. It's actually not that bad of a trade. But like, I wouldn't trade that. I would have called my one trade of the day and boom, done. Boom. Cool. All right, that's the 3 trades I would have taken, and then I'm gonna go into probably why I wouldn't have touched anything the rest of this week. So let's really freestyle this. So what do we have there? So we had, so that was that closure of that day, yeah. As that gets put in, we have the next day putting in another 2-stage SMT. This is again like where you're like, okay, we're gonna go higher. Let's see what the next day does. Let's go to the 4-hour, because most of the time I don't mess with the daily time frame other than framing EQ, and that's about as much as I look at it. So what we have here is that previous day putting in that little SMT that we saw where it hit that draw and then immediately reversed up. And then from there, it just chops. Like, we've just had so much downward expansion. This truly makes sense. A lot of times you'll see Monday large expansion. You see a Monday large expansion and then into Tuesday. Like, if you get Monday and Tuesday expansion, just trust, like, the price is going to want to cool off. Like, just think of it as a slinky. A lot of times I like to think of price as a slinky. Like, if you have a slinky truly expanded, you throw it down the stairs or something, it kind of expands out and then it returns and then it expands again. A lot of times price is like that. Like, you're just not going to go from expansion to expansion to expansion to expansion. Like, there's got to be cool off periods. So with this, it's kind of the market cooling off a little bit, retracing upwards into gaps, and then you'll see it'll dump again, because we don't really validate this 2-stage with expansion after. So I truthfully wouldn't touch this. It's not going to be like, I would have took this entry and this. Like, I'm being true to myself. That's the only way you get better. There's just nothing I would have seen on this day that I would have probably taken. There's some 15-minute that I was looking at, like some 15 to 1 minute models that you could take a 1 minute trade into like local highs. Like, it would have been this high here, off of this candle. Well, no, it was off of this candle. Can't quite remember. Yeah, like, I can break that down. Let's go into that actually. Sorry, I keep taking sips of water because my mouth is dry. So yeah, this is what I was talking about here. Where is it at? Is this 9? Yeah, so 9:30 you get a SysD off of this. This was also SMT. because SMT was technically put in like here, and then it just kind of continued trading lower, but there's still a valid SMT here. And then we have a little bit of expansion, just retracement off of this, and then you just have these local highs. Like this is failure swing to failure swing. Like this is just so clean to take off after you like complete a market maker sell model. You get down here, you complete the external draw. This can then come in, put in SMT, and then you can finally like take out this draw to this. Like this is just engineer high and low. So like just study MMXM. So he goes, obviously he's like the founder of all this shit. So you have 15-minute SIST. You can just trade 945. Trust. Until like these lows are so free, or these highs are so free. Like this is all just easy. Just OG consolidations before the dumps. Because obviously you're not going to go from like expansion to then expand. Like you're going to have some sort of cooldown. So this is kind of holy crap, accordion style. It's where you just have like fair value gaps. Like you're going to see these kind of OG consolidate. This was like a concept taught by MMXM, but the OG consolidations a lot of time gets targeted of the prior to fair value gap, because you're gonna have to have these cool off periods. If not, then there would just be like literally fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value. Like this is how price would be, boom, boom, like up and down, just like targeting IRL all the time. But there are all these cool. Just look at it. Just look at these. Like we go to an hourly candle, yeah. Like prior to the expansion, you'll get these kind of like these like just boxy. See all these? These are OG consolidations. Boom, here. Like stuff like this, I might be butchering a little bit. They're not like the cleanest examples here, but a lot of times like these little like, consolidations before like the local manipulation to then dump can be moves to target later, like areas to target later, obviously. Just a little tidbit. I still got to get a little better at explaining that, but this is cool. Is that a pigeon I hear? Sorry, I had to pause. I got beef with pigeons. There's Hawaii out here, and they'll be sitting on your window sill just like ooh. Ooh, it kind of sounds like an owl, but you get it. Anyways, fuck pigeons. So yeah, you can target something like that. That's super clean. Even this draw, and it doesn't get hit, but 2R, trust, bro, trust. You can probably still hit 3 minutes. Oh yeah, super clean. So 930 SMT, not SMT, SIST, retest, close over. So here's and then even here, boom. Yeah, this is open. That's a pretty clean trade. I gotta get better. I gotta validate my model better of like the 1 hour, the 5 minute trading those. Those are easier ones because obviously the higher time frame the candle, the more weight it holds. So like 5 minute entries, as long as this draw is open, you'll miss some, but like when you really get a clean 5 minute entry, most of the times they're just higher probability. But these 1 minutes are still clean too, as long as like the higher time frame they all align. Like you're trading within a 4 hour expansion candle from like manipulation into a relevant draw that's not too far away. These 1 minute entries are pretty free and quick. Yeah, because you could have even entered off of this, like validate that, retest of this. It's kind of more so like if you trade like options a lot of times, like breakout ranges and stuff, this is kind of how they are, how they kind of look, because the open after is so volatile. Like, bro, look at that. That's like almost a 4 hour trade, and you're done within like minutes. Kind of jealous, low key. Like on average, I think through my back testing, just like for my Notion live trades and then like TradeZella, I think it's like average trades like an hour and 5 minutes or something like that. I think it's like an hour and 20 actually. And then you're making that and 5. But I tried my 1 minute, bro. I tried it. I failed. So I'll get better. I'll return to a trust. Anyways, getting off track. I knew that's how this would be when I would freestyle, because I was looking and I was like, okay, I wouldn't have taken these days, but I'm going to explain why. And I know I'm going to get off track and this video is going to be hella long. But who cares? Who literally cares? I don't know why I'm making that voice. My fault, bro. Alright. So 1400. Let's do daily profiling here. So we open high. What does this validate? A bearish candle. Like I don't want to see a bullish candle, especially open like this. Why can't I find 1800? I'm dumb. So off rip, just based on NQ, I think all assets do this. They just kind of open and rip. Oh, I remember this day. This was like the target. I think this was the target and it doesn't get hit and it's brutal. I remember I do remember this day. Yep. This is a target here. You would have traded like a retest, so expansion, a retest, I think, into this gap. I didn't trade this, but I do remember this day. I remember one of my mentors got brutally edged out of this. I'm not gonna say who, my fault. Not gonna say who. I'm not gonna expose you. But boom. So you have 2200. Then there was an SMT in this gap. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I might be tripping. No SMT. No SMT at all. Yeah, no SMT, but just clean manipulation. C2 reversal. So if you trade C2 candle, like this is just clean. Other than this one, this closes a little bit weaker, but it takes the low, closes back in. I think there's like an hourly SMT. No. Searching for SMT. Here, yeah, isn't there an SMT? Yeah. No, I'm smoking dick. All right. I don't know why I just said that. So then you have that. Cool. Anywho, so yeah, based off this closure, you can just like mechanically trade higher, especially when it's so close to this draw. So NQ is kind of free on the open. We'll go to the hourly and then just watch NQ from here. So if I'm trading NQ, we saw that one of the other assets had already SysD'd. So I'd want to see something a little bit better out of this. So boom. So we have the SysD. I'm pretty sure there's an SMT here. Sorry, I'm just remembering an SMT and I might be tripping. No. Yeah, so small almost said small kind SMT off here, super small run of it, and then you get a SysD. So this is kind of valid to trade 9 a.m. higher, like just a mechanical open low high close 5 minute respecting EQ of this candle. Like this is pretty. I don't want that actually. Where are you at? So you can then just go here. Obviously, you probably want to see a test of this. I don't remember this day exactly. So we have the, again, keep it simple. What do we have? We have the 9 a.m. candle opening low. What's the makeup of that? That's a bullish candle makeup. So we're already kind of validating this candle profile here. Continuing lower. There's probably going to be some sort of SMT. Let's see. We go to the 5 minute here. Yep, SMT, as you can see. Boom, this candle is already expanding, so we have some sort of, like we always have, decoupled move at the open. Not always, but typically normally. So if this is SysD'd here, you could take this. This would be pretty valid. Don't exactly get it. Probably a 3 minute. Jesus, my dryer was just so loud. Nope, still don't get it. Cool. So just waiting for that SysD there. Oh, that's brutal. If that's a 2-stage, that's kind of cool. Yep, that's a 2-stage there. As you can see, boom, there. So pretty sick, actually. So you could just literally market entry right here. Market entry. You're going to get brutally edged, but luckily I do static 2R. So I would have probably stopped right here. That's just me though. This is such a long wick. That sucks. I might get edged out of this because I remember, dude, it hits like right here and doesn't hit this. I'm kind of remembering this. Brutal hold. Wow, look at that. That's brutal. Yeah, so you would have got stopped out. You would have got what? 1.4. I don't know why that took me so long to find. That's brutal. But this was trading that day. So I don't trade away from failure swings. So this is what I want to annotate. Is as clean as this is. Now you can realign yourself with price, yeah. Because this just absolutely dumps from here. It's just I would not have wanted to trade it because no asset takes this. There's no SMT. It's so close. Like to not trade away from that. To trade away from the failure swings, kind of. It's brutal. But on the hourly, what is it? I think ES SysD's first. Do one of them SysD first? Any of them SysD first? No, they don't. But it's pretty clear. Like if you're just hitting that, like the next draw is going to be this. This is pretty free low. It's kind of OG consolidation before the expansion move up. These fair value gaps, that's pretty free. I just truthfully would have sat this out. You can just, oh, it was 30 minute. Am I tripping? Yeah, there it is. There she goes. So it was a 30 minute. No SMT at this, so that's kind of brutal. But you have a 30 minute SysD off this close, so you could argue that you couldn't trade 11 as long as the candle profile fits it. If you want to match a 3 minute, let's see what 11 does. I mean, it just, bro, it just dumps. This whole day dumps, I remember. It just dumps from this point on. Like, like, bro, look at that. That's nutty. It's pretty clean entry right here, maybe. I mean, it's just giving you like no, but that's what true expansion. It dumps. Like there's just no involvement. Like the 5 minute, there's gonna be zero involvement except for right here. Wow. Let's see the 15-minute. Wow. Imagine. What is that? What is this? 10 a.m. So I mean, this is clean. Like this would be kind of an MMXM, like validating the this new 4-hour high here. Like if you keep it like pretty mechanical off that, I don't know why I just clicked the line again, but 10 opens, low, goes in, puts in the wick of the 4-hour, and if you trade more like a 4-hour, 15-minute like long, like here, and then you could target like that low right down there. That's so clean. But this is what something I'm thinking of doing, being that I'll be going on EST. Is spotting the wick formation of a 4-hour candle, like getting the 6-hour wick formation low or high, and then just hoping open takes me into whatever draw I have. That's something I'm testing. That's something you can do. Get better at trading Asia. If you want to really be a no sleep gang, just trade London. But these are things you can kind of do to circumvent not being able to trade during work hours is something I'll be going through. So yeah, this is pretty clean catching the 10-hour. If you can like get on your phone real quick and see this SysD, if you trust backtest it, you can trust that this is now the wick formation of the 10 a.m. candle, and you can literally just mark an entry on the close of this one, cover the high, just static 2R right down here probably. Super clean, super clean. Check your phone every now and then, like not even doing the work assignments. You're just like, hold on. Oh, you just see this. You're like, Jesus. Anyways, I'm not going to get too into that. But that's something you can do if you can't really like check your phone. You have to be more of a swing trader. Pretty clean idea. Just spot the wick formation because it's the same. It's all fractal. So same way like if I'm breaking down an hourly candle into 5-minute wick formation, trade the body. Same way what you break down a daily candle with an hourly formation, high of day, then you're just trading the body. You're trying to spot the wick, catch the body. The body's the expansion. Wick is just the formation or opposing run that high of day created with SMT. Then you're going to catch the expansion of the body. So it's kind of the same. It's all fractal. So boom. Brutal candle, especially when you see something like this at like 10 a.m. You're just going to see a retracement back into it. So boom. Again, what do we have? Daily. No SMT, but we have a daily just opening high. I would assume we've exhausted the external levels here, and we're just going to continue higher. So 2200 here. Boom. We're just kind of consolidating. Now we have SMT at these lows. Obviously, we run this, and then this gets ran. So SMT, this is higher in the range. Technically, this takes it, but they both take it. Boom. And the SMT is here. Cool. Bada bing, bada boom. And then yeah, based on candle profiling, you would trade 6 a.m. back into this gap. It's closer on YM here, so a little bit more valid there. You just have to wait to see how the hourly is, but I wouldn't trade. You could do like 50% of this fair value gap if you really wanted to. Let's see. This is just gonna be 5 a.m. Let's see which one, because this is closely. Let's just see. Boom. 7 a.m. Wow. It's already going. You get a PSP here. You're gonna get an SMT at 9 a.m. probably. Oh, just continues lower. It's kind of about just stacked lows. That's beautiful to see. Actually, low key. I don't remember this day. So based off this, the only thing is we don't even take this high. So that's kind of brutal. Yeah, I'm kind of sidelined. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just Jesus Christ. This is brutal. I would not. This was the day I was like, yeah, I definitely just wouldn't have traded away from. Like, what is going on here? Like, small SMT, but then nobody runs this. Like this is just, I'm not trading away from this. So yeah, we're gonna trade it this day either. I think this is the Friday. Yep, and this is how she ends, and then next week opens. So I'll get into backtesting this week. But yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. Probably, I haven't even checked OBS. Let's see. Wow, 45 minutes. Jesus Christ. Oopsie, my fault. Holy crap. Anyways, that is a case study of November 17th to the 21st. This will be something I'll continue to do. I'm just really doing this to train my eye. If it helps somebody, if down the road this becomes something that becomes a relic of my teachings, it's not even my teaching. This is just stuff I learned from my mentors, man. I'm just regurgitating stuff that people that I've learned from can teach a lot better than me. I know I'm not the most professional. My language is not the best. But this is how I talk. I'm just going to be me. Like, I don't have time to be some sort of internet persona. I'm busy enough. I don't want to be a great YouTuber. I actually do want to be a great teacher and pass on information, but like, I feel like this is kind of how, like, these pretty videos are cool and stuff visually, but like, I don't want to be like ICT either, where it's just like, holy crap, you're a good teacher, but you got to sort through a fucking 4-hour lecture and it's just a yap sesh. So hopefully I'm not that either, but I'm just not an editor. I'm not going to sit and edit a video. So as I continue the yap, I'm like, I don't want to be that. I'm just yapping. But yeah, I'm just focused on pressing start on OBS and just letting my mouth do the that might be a brutal pause. Letting my talking do the talking, if that even makes sense. But yeah, cool. Yeah, that's my case study of this week. Kind of got into what I would have traded, what I wouldn't have traded, profiling. Just really keep it simple on that profiling. Like, you gotta have discretionary and just basically market narrative experience in the market. That's all I mean from discretionary trading. Just experience in the market and know, like, okay, that is mechanically sound, yeah, but like, I just don't trust that low, or I don't like the way the candle opened. Like, I just don't like it. And you sit out. That's okay. Just sit out. There's always going to be another day of trading. So, and truly learn profiling, learn the formation of candles, learn the open high, open low. It seems so simple, but it can validate and like add that added layer of confluence onto your trade entry. Like, okay, this is an expansion candle. I want to see this next candle open low, put in the wick, then I'm going to trade the body. Like, that's all you're doing. You're watching the wicks, and then you're trading the bodies. So just apply that to literally every time frame. It's all fractal. Watch the wick, trade the body. Watch the high day form, then get involved. Watch the wick of that lower intermediate time candle. Boom, formation, sys D on the 1 hour or the 5 minute to create the 1 hour wick. Trade the body, expansion. Filter through time. Don't get in at like 10:45 on a candle. Maybe let that new candle open as long as it draws far enough away. We had some examples where it's like between the hours of 9 to 10, those 9 a.m. candles, they're volatile, so you can get a lot of expansion. So maybe in 9:30, because obviously you've got to wait for the open. So price is going to create that sys on the manipulation due to the volatility driver at 9:30, and you can kind of enter and get away with 9:40 entries off that sys creation of the market manipulation on the open, as we saw in like I think the third example. Just discretionary. Just learn. Just backtest, man. Just literally develop an autistic love of watching little tiny candles on a computer screen print, and just develop a relationship with them. Be like, okay, this is how they usually print, and this is what usually happens. That's all it is, man. If you don't have like the willpower to just kind of sit and watch it, maybe it's just not for you, and that's fine. Like, if maybe you're a great salesman or like a great whatever. I'm speaking like I'm a great trader right now, but I like this is what I like to do. I love to do this. So just learn it. It wasn't my favorite thing at first, but you just kind of develop a love for it. I like the intricacy. Like, there's always a higher ceiling. Like, you're never going to be the best trader. There's always going to be someone better, and I love that. So I'm yapping. I'm going to end this. Cool. End this at 49 minutes. All right, peace, people.